There is a Nicole Miller jersey dress hanging at Nordstrom right now that costs $88. Soft jersey knit, ruched waist, cap sleeves, falls just below the knee. And over at your nearest Costco warehouse, a Nicole Miller jersey dress sits folded on a table for $19.99. Same designer, same jersey knit, same weight, same drape, same seam construction. The only difference we could find was a slightly narrower hemband on the Nordstrom version. That half-inch of hemband is apparently worth $68. The dress does not know which store it was meant for. Your receipt does. We found 8 summer items in the Costco clothing section right now, all under $25, that come from the same supply chains, use the same fibers, and in several cases roll off the same production lines as brands charging 4 to 10 times more. And 1 summer item that looks like a steal but falls apart after a few washes. We are going to tell you exactly what to avoid and exactly why. Costco caps its markup at 15%. That is corporate policy, not a suggestion. It has been in place for 4 decades. Department stores operate at 55 to 70%. Costco does not need that margin because roughly 70% of their net profit comes from membership fees alone. So when Costco and Lululemon contract the same Vietnamese factory to produce the same travel pant with a different label, one gets a 15% markup. The other gets 400%. The garment does not know the difference. Your wallet does. Number 8. Pull-on shorts and capris, $14 to $17. A Talbots pull-on short runs $54. Chico's weekender shorts run $49. The Costco versions come from brands like Gloria, Vanderbilt, and Briggs, New York. They have a wide elastic waistband that sits flat without rolling and a 6 or 7 inch inseam. A length that looks polished without feeling too short. And the same 4-way stretch twill that department stores charge $444. Stretch twill is a commodity. The same mills in Vietnam and Bangladesh produce it for dozens of brands at every price point. Flip the care label on a pair of Talbots pull-on shorts and flip the care label on the Costco pair. You will see the same numbers. Same cotton percentage, same spandex percentage, same fabric, different tag. Worn 3 times a week through a 4-month summer, these shorts work out to roughly 9 cents per wear. At Talbot's pricing, the same schedule costs 35 cents, 4 times more for the same fabric sewn into the same silhouette. I wore a pair of these to a 4th of July cookout last year. 3 women asked me where I got them. When I said Costco, one of them genuinely did not believe me. The shorts are a good deal. But the next item might be the best dollar-for-dollar value on this entire list. Number 7. Layering tanks and tunic-length tops. $10 to $15 for a 3-pack. An Eileen Fisher modal tank costs $65. 1 tank. The Costco 3-pack runs $12 to $15 total. The Felina tanks at Costco have become a quiet phenomenon, and the reason is modal. Modal is made from beech tree pulp. It is softer than cotton, more breathable than polyester, and it keeps its shape wash after wash. Eileen Fisher uses the same fiber family in their layering basics. Nordstrom private label uses it in their $60 tanks. Almost all modal traces back to one company, Lenzing, the same Austrian producer. They license the fiber to mills worldwide, and those mills sell to every price point. The Felina tank at Costco and the Eileen Fisher tank at Nordstrom likely start from the same source fiber. Long enough to tuck or layer under a blouse. Neckline high enough that you do not think about it when bending over. Neutrals that work with everything in your closet. I keep 6 in rotation from May through September. At $4 or $5 each, you would expect them to fall apart. They do not. I have tanks from 2 seasons ago that still hold their shape and color. And the next item tells the same story with an even narrower supply chain. Number 6. Linen blend blouses. $15 to $18 at Costco. An Eileen Fisher organic linen top runs $78. A J. Crew linen blend blouse runs $68. Most people hear the word linen and think luxury. But all linen starts as flax, and almost all of it grows in the same fields across Belgium, France, and Ireland. That flax gets shipped to a handful of spinning mills, most of them in China, that turn it into linen yarn for the entire world. There are maybe 5 or 6 of these operations at this quality level. Eileen Fisher sources from them. J. Crew sources from them. And the brands supplying Costco, Jack's Girlfriend, and Ellen Tracy source from the same ones. The Costco blouses are a 55 to 60% linen, 40 to 45% rayon blend. J. Crew uses the exact same ratio in their seasonal collection. The rayon is what makes these wearable. Pure linen wrinkles the moment you sit down in a chair. The blend gives you the linen look and breathability without looking like you slept in your clothes by noon. To be fair, the color range is limited. You will not find bold prints or fashion-forward cuts here. These are neutral, easy pieces. If you want a statement blouse, this is not it. But if you want something that breathes in July and looks polished at lunch, this is the one. One thing to know, Costco linen is seasonal. It shows up in spring, sells through by late summer, and does not come back until the following year. If you see one in your size, buy 2. I have watched 3 seasons of Costco linen sell out before most shoppers even noticed it was there. Number 5. Summer dresses, $17 to $22. And remember the dress from the beginning of this video? That was not a one-off. You already saw the Nicole Miller comparison in the opening. Same dress, same designer, a $68 difference. But that is just one example. Costco rotates dress brands every season. Nicole Miller, Lole, Tash, and Sophie, Andrew Mark. The names change. The quality does not. These are not shapeless sacks. Ruching at the waist creates shape without tailoring. V necklines flatter without plunging. Cap sleeves cover just enough. Fabrics move with you instead of clinging. These dresses solve 3 problems at once. They are cool in heat. They go from errands to dinner without changing. And they fit real bodies, not runway bodies, not mannequin bodies, but the bodies we actually live in. Worn once a week for a 4-month summer, a $20 Costco dress works out to $1.25 per wear. The $88 Nordstrom version works out to $5.50 per wear. Same fabric, same factory region. If you see one in your size, buy it that day. The best prints and sizes sell out within a week. I have learned that the hard way more than once. After our last Costco video, a woman in the comments said she printed the brand list and took it shopping with her. That is exactly why I wrote the full guide. 52 brands, scored and ranked, with a 60-second quality check you can do in any store. Every woman who has read it says the same thing. I wish I had this 10 years ago. The link is right below in the comments. Now, everything so far has been textiles. Stretch twill, modal, linen, jersey. But the same principle applies to something completely different, and it might be the single most overpriced item in any department store. Number 4. Kirkland Signature Polarized Sunglasses, $18 to $22. A pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarers runs $163. Maui Gym starts at $279. Sunglasses have the most extreme markup in the entire fashion industry. A pair that costs $6 to $8 to manufacture regularly sells for $150 to $300 at retail. That is not a 50% markup. That is 2,000%. And the reason is one company. Luxottica, now part of Essilor Luxottica, controls roughly 80% of the major sunglass brands on the planet. Ray-Ban, Oakley, Persol, Ralph Lauren Eyewear, Versace Eyewear, Prada Eyewear, all Luxottica. They own the brands, they own the factories, they own Sunglass Hut, they own LensCrafters, and they set the prices. That is not a competitive market. That is a monopoly with a display rack. Costco sidesteps the entire system. The Kirkland sunglasses are genuinely polarized, not the tinted plastic that budget brands pass off. Full UV 400 protection. Stainless steel spring hinges, the same mechanism in Ray-Bans at 8 times the price. What surprised us is the optical clarity. The Kirkland lenses tested in the same range as sunglasses at 10 times the price. The polarization filter film comes from the same suppliers, whether it ends up in a Luxottica frame or a Kirkland frame. The light behaves the same way regardless of whose name is on the temple arm. If you only buy one thing from this list, make it these. The sunglasses are about a rigged pricing system. The next item is about something even simpler, a markup that only exists because of one word on the product tag. Number 3, swimsuit cover-ups and beach tunics, $16 to $20. A comparable cover-up at Anthropologie runs $78. Free People starts at $65. This is the category where the fashion industry has somehow convinced us that a piece of gauze with armholes is worth $85 the moment the word resort appears in the product description. The moment a brand knows you are buying for vacation, the price goes up. That is psychology, not quality. The Costco cover-ups are lightweight rayon or a rayon cotton blend, in prints that actually feel current, and long enough to provide real coverage walking from the pool to the restaurant. So when Anthropologie charges $78 for a cover-up and Costco charges $17, the fabric is the same fabric. The drape is the same drape. The difference is Anthropologie's storefront on Fifth Avenue and the photo shoot on a Greek island. Costco skips the photo shoot. They just put it on the pallet and let the fabric speak. The one downside is the same as always with Costco. If you fall in love with a print, you cannot go back and buy it again next month. It will be gone. That is the trade-off for paying $17 instead of $78. We have covered what you wear. Now let us talk about what you walk in. Number 2. Supportive summer sandals, $15 to $22. OOFOS recovery slides run $69. Vionic sandals start at $85. The recovery footwear category exploded over the last few years, and brands like OOFOS and Vionic charge premium prices for it. What they do not advertise is that EVA foam, the material their footbeds are made from, is not proprietary. It is an open market material. Dozens of manufacturers across Asia produce it. The same foam suppliers sell to OOFOS, to Vionic, and to the brands making Costco's sandals. Skechers, Kombu, Deer Foams. Same high-density EVA foam. Same arch contouring. Same mold-making facilities in Fujian province. You can test this yourself in the store. Press your thumb into the footbed. If it springs back slowly and fully, that is quality foam. If it stays dented or bounces back like a rubber ball, skip it. The Costco sandals pass this test every time. At $16, you could buy a fresh pair every summer for 4 years and still spend less than one pair of OOFOS. Will they last 5 years of daily wear? Probably not. The strap stitching is not as reinforced as what you get from Vionic. But at this price, that is not the point. At our age, and I say this as someone right there with you, our feet need support, not marketing. The foam does not care whose name is on the strap. And the number one item on this list is something most people do not even think to buy at Costco. Number 1. UPF 50 Plus Sun Hats, $12 to $15. A Sunday afternoon's hat at REI runs $45. San Diego Hat Company runs $55 to $65. UPF 50 means 98% of the sun's ultraviolet radiation is blocked. That is what Costco's packable sun hats deliver. Full UPF 50 plus protection in a hat that folds flat, fits in your carry-on, and pops right back into shape. The UPF rating has nothing to do with the brand. It comes from the fabric and the UV treatment, and those are available to every hat maker at every price point. There is one detail worth paying attention to. Dermatologists recommend at least a 3-inch brim for real face and neck protection. Costco's hats hit that mark. A lot of the cute boutique hats with 2-inch brims look great in photos but do not actually protect you. At this age, sun protection is not vanity. It is healthcare. And the fact that medical-grade UV protection comes in a hat this good for $13 is something the sunscreen industry would rather you not think about. Now, we promised we would tell you what does not hold up in the Costco summer section. The printed graphic tops from Guest brands, Mondetta, weatherproof vintage, and some of the seasonal floral tees that show up every spring. These are not in the same league as what we just covered. The difference is how the print gets onto the fabric. The quality garments on this list use reactive dyeing, where color bonds chemically into the fiber. These Guest brand tees use heat transfer printing. The graphic sits on top like a sticker, instead of becoming part of the cotton. After 10 washes, transfer prints crack, peel, and fade. Reactive dyes hold their color through hundreds. You can feel the difference in the store. Rub the print between your fingers. If it feels like a plastic layer, put it back. The rule is simple. Kirkland signature is consistently well made. Guest brands are case by case. Check every garment that does not say Kirkland on the label. 8 summer items. Same fibers. Same supply chains. Same factory regions. 4 to 10 times less than department store prices. Total Costco cost for everything on this list, under $140. Total designer equivalent, over $800. That is not a quality gap. That is a margin gap. Once you see how the supply chain actually works, the designer label stops being a signal of quality and starts being a signal of markup. That shift in perspective is worth more than any single item on this list. Tell us in the comments, what is your best Costco summer find? What brand? What price? Your recommendations shape what we investigate next. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next.